How did she just walk away? How? When they told you that he had her in the headlock, how did he even walk away? Why did they was so easy to walk away?
The 31-year-old mom was shot and killed just after dropping her son off at school near Romeca State in the South Loop. She had gotten into a fight with another woman. Both of them share a child with the same man who lives nearby. He was also at that scene. That other woman, also 31, shot Blackman 3 times. One bullet struck her in the face.
Got a female black complexion, green tracksuit, has a gun, fighting with another female black, dark complexion.
The shooter stayed on the scene, and as you can see, a witness pointed out the shooter to police. One of the witnesses also said the father of Blackman's child had her in a headlock before the shots were fired.
I'm licensed to carry.
It doesn't matter.
You shot somebody. What the wrong with you?
The man in the shorts is CJ's father. He's covered in blood.
Look down at your heart, and whatever you say to her, say it to her right there. The same way I have to do. I have to look right here, and I have to talk to her and ask her, just tell me what happened.
She fired once, then stopped, looked, and fired 2 more times. Now tell me, where is the self-defense in that? A mother is gone. A 7-year-old keeps asking where she is, and 87 days later, they finally charge the woman who pulled that trigger. But here's what nobody's talking about. September 8th, 2025, Chicago. That's the day Romeca Blackman lost her life in a parking lot on West Mack Street. The woman who shot her? Holly Johnson. But here's where it gets messy. Both women had children by the same man, Carlos Smith. Holly had just had his baby 6 months before. Romeca? She'd been dealing with Carlos for years. Their son was days away from turning 7. So you already know this wasn't just some random beef. This was personal. This was about a man who couldn't keep it in his pants and 2 women who were tired of sharing. Now, Carlos will tell you he loved both of them, that he was there for both of them, that he took care of both his families. But let me tell you something. When you're trying to play house with 2 different women, somebody's eventually gonna get hurt. And on September 8th, that somebody was Romeca. The thing about situations like this, they don't just happen overnight. There's always something brewing underneath. And from what people close to this case are saying, Holly knew exactly who Romeca was. Romeca knew exactly who Holly was. Carlos was the connection, and he wasn't doing anything to keep the peace. Matter of fact, there's evidence that suggests Carlos was taking things from Romeca's house, designer bags, personal items, and giving them to Holly. Imagine that. The man you share a child with, the man who's supposed to have your back, is literally taking your belongings and gifting them to the next woman. And Romeca's family? They say Carlos was damaging her property, busting TVs in the house where his own son lived. But Carlos stayed going back and forth, and Holly, she was watching. She was paying. Attention. One family member said it plain. Carlos loved Romeca. That's why Holly was jealous. He was never going to leave my cousin alone. So now you got a woman who knows she's not the favorite. A woman who's watching the father of her child run back to his other baby mama. A woman who's probably been told 1,000 times that she comes second. And if we being real, that kind of jealousy don't just disappear. It festers, it grows, and eventually, it explodes. September 8th started like any other day. Carlos and Holly were together with their 6-month-old baby. They went to West Mack Street where Holly's car was parked. They put the baby in the back seat of Holly's car. Normal co-parenting stuff, right? But Romeca had just dropped her son off at school nearby. And when she drove back to the area, she saw them. Carlos, Holly, together, again. Here's what prosecutors say happened next. The women started arguing. Words were flying. According to witnesses, Carlos tried to push Holly away. Romeca was standing there with her arms crossed. Then Carlos slammed a car door on Romeca, put her in a chokehold. Now listen, that's what prosecutors are saying. But Romeca's family tells a different story. They say Carlos wasn't attacking Romeca. He was trying to stop her. Because when Romeca got upset, ain't no calming her down. She was ready to handle business, and Carlos knew it. So you got two versions already. Prosecutors say Carlos put Romeca in a chokehold. The family says he was holding her back. Either way, what happened next is not in dispute. Holly broke away from whatever was happening. She went to her car, reached inside, and came back with a 9mm handgun. She fired once. Romeca was hit. Then Holly paused and fired 2 more times. Police found 3 9mm casings at the scene. Romeca Blackman was unarmed. She died right there in that parking lot, while her son's 7th birthday was days away. Holly Johnson stood there, gun in hand, and said 5 words that would become the center of this entire case. "I'm licensed to carry." Now here's where people started getting angry. Because Holly wasn't arrested that day. She wasn't charged that day. She walked away from that scene while Romeca's body was still on the ground. Carlos was on scene telling anybody who would listen, it was self-defense. But the witnesses, they saw something different. They saw an argument. They saw Carlos in between both women. They saw Holly go to her car, get a gun, and fire 3 shots. Self-defense? Let me ask you this. If someone is holding the other person back, if you're not in immediate danger, if you have time to walk to your car, open the door, grab a weapon, walk back, and then shoot once, pause, then shoot twice more, is that really self-defense? Romeca's son asked for his mama every single day after that. He turned 7 years old without her. And for 87 days, Holly Johnson went on with her life, free, pregnant with another child, posting on social media, living. The family was enraged. Romeca's aunt reshared a post that allegedly came from Holly's account. The post said, "Sometimes you gotta start just killing people." Holly's aunt, or whoever ran the account, responded with, "And ready to kill, and your friends posting stuff make it worse, Holly." If that post really came from Holly, if she really was out here talking about killing people before she actually killed Romeca, then how does that fit into a self-defense claim? Make it make sense. 87 days. That's how long it took before they finally arrested Holly Johnson. When the news broke, her family came out, swinging in support. One family member posted Holly's mugshot with the caption, "Little stuff to a giant. You got this, sis." You got this? A woman is dead. A child is without his mother. And your response is, "You got this, sis?" Girl. But Holly wasn't going down without a fight. She hired an attorney. And not just any attorney. A woman with a track record of getting people off in shooting cases. Cases where there was video evidence. Cases where the state thought they had it in the bag. Her attorney had beat attempt murder charges before. She'd gotten clients acquitted even when there was camera footage, even when weapons were recovered at the scene. Her strategy? Take it to trial. Force the state to prove their case beyond a reasonable doubt. And if there's even the smallest hole in their argument, exploit it. So now the question became, will Holly Johnson walk free? Or will Romeca Blackman finally get justice? After the shooting, investigators started piecing together what really happened on September 8th. They recovered 3 9mm shell casings from the scene. They interviewed witnesses. They reviewed whatever footage existed. And the more they looked into it, the more questions started piling up. First question, why did Holly pause between shots? According to prosecutors, Holly fired once. Romeca was hit. Then Holly stopped. Not because the gun jammed, not because she was out of bullets. She stopped and then made a choice to fire 2 more times. That pause? That's the difference between someone acting in panic and someone making a decision. And in the eyes of the law, that decision matters. Second question, where was Carlos during all of this? Multiple witnesses said Carlos was between the two women. He was physically separating them. Some say he had Romeca in a hold, trying to keep her from getting the Holly. Others say he pushed Holly away, trying to create distance. But here's what everybody agrees on. He was right there when Holly went to her car to get that gun. So why didn't he stop her? Why didn't he grab her arm? Why didn't he yell, "Don't do it"? Instead, witnesses say they heard him on scene after the shooting saying, "It was self-defense." Not, "Oh my God, what happened?" Not, "Somebody call 911." Just, "It was self-defense." Like he already knew what the story was gonna be. Now Carlos? He's been all over the place with his narrative. On social media, he posted, "Y'all talking about Team Romeca or Team Holly? I wasn't on none of their sides because I was there for both of them. I took care of them both." He followed that up with another post saying, "This is a terrible situation I have to face, and God knows who is right and wrong in that situation. I know y'all want me to be the bad guys so bad, but that's just not me." But let me tell you something. When you show up to court to support the woman who killed your other baby mama, you are picking a side. Period. Carlos sat in that courtroom supporting Holly. He didn't show up for Romeca's family. He didn't release a statement honoring her memory. He showed up for the woman facing murder charges. And Romeca's family? They noticed. One of Romeca's cousins spoke out on a live stream and said, "Carlos loved Romeca. That's why the girl was jealous. He was never going to leave my cousin alone." She went on to detail how Carlos would damage Romeca's property, busting TVs, stealing things out of her house, taking Romeca's old designer bags and giving them to Holly. And this was happening in the home where his son lived, the same son who's now asking where his mama is. The cousin said it plain. "Do I need to drop all the receipts and videos when he was damaging her stuff, stealing stuff out her house, busting her TVs where his son that he loves so much had to stay there too? Taking all my cousin's old designer and giving it to Cordasia Johnson? That ain't even her name. Y'all taking up for this girl. Y'all talking about y'all only knew her a year. How's you taking up for this girl but you claim, 'Oh, Roro my dog. I know her longer. That's my sister. Oh, that's my nephew, hun, auntie.' I don't want to hear that." Strong words. And if what she's saying is true, then Carlos wasn't just some innocent bystander caught between two women. He was actively creating the chaos that led to this. Fast forward to Holly's court appearance. Both families showed up. Romeca's people on one side, Holly's people on the other. And the tension? You could cut it. According to reports, someone from Holly's side, possibly Carlos, approached one of Romeca's female family members and said something. We don't know exactly what was said, but we know what happened next.
Oh, something. I gotta let y'all know something. Carlos and them. When I say Carlos and them, I'm talking about Carlos and Holly team. I just got a word, and I'm so mad about this, y'all. I'm so sad about this. I'm so disappointed. But they are trying to silence the witness. The witness that I talked to, remember that witness I talked to first? I was the first person that talked to the witness on the scene, y'all. And she told her truth, and I was so proud of her. Now, they are trying to silence the witness. Why are you trying to silence the witness? If you ain't do nothing wrong, Carlos, you would want every witness there to come up and to speak. You would want every witness not to be silenced. I don't know about y'all, but if I was in a situation and I know I'm telling the truth, I would want every witness around me to come up and tell their truth too. But because he want to silence them, that is very telling, okay? So in this clip, we're talking about that. And also, we need to talk about Holly. I got some intel on Holly, and guess what? Holly's cellmate, the people that's in the jails with Holly, guess what, y'all? They're talking. They're talking, baby. Yeah, we got the inside deeds on that, so let's talk about it. If you guys can hear me, please press that 2. How you guys doing? Hey, Barbara. Hey, KD. Hey, T. Ebony. What's going on? Hey, Lisa Wilson. That's my sister. All right, how you doing? What's up, Edna? That's my close friend. All right, how y'all doing? How y'all doing? All right, so let me break this down, and I want to let you guys know too. I do have the link for anybody that want to come up here. You guys know I love when you guys come up here. I love when we talk and engage, okay? I really do. It's all about community. So I went over here to Travel Island like I always do, all right? And boom, here it is. They are saying witness intimidation at its finest. Why are they sharing Romeca Meeks' witness photo on social media? They are foul. Yes, Holly supporters. This is so nasty and so gross to try to intimidate a witness. They want to put fear in her. They don't want her to speak out because she's telling the truth. And they have a lot to hide. And if you guys did not know who the witness is, let's go here. This is a clip that I got from the main interview that we did. This is the witness. They are taking pictures of this witness. They are going around social media, posting this lady's photo, okay? Posting their photo, trying to get them to silence and be afraid. I don't know if they want to put a mark on her, trying to get these crazy Holly supporters to do something to her, but it ain't gonna work. And I hope and pray that it does not work, because them Holly people, they ain't gonna do nothing. They ain't gonna do nothing, okay? So I want to give you guys the idea of who they're referring to.
Called the cops first. And I saw them when they were fighting in the beginning, and I was like, this is not right. He was slamming her with the door when she was standing in her door frame, not even close to the female on the other side. So
did you hear that? And I say, because y'all want to silence her so bad, we need to raise her voice up even more. Since y'all want to silence her so bad, I say we need to talk about her statement more and more and more. Because honestly, I forgot. I didn't forget, but I wasn't planning on playing her audio. But now y'all gonna make me want to play her audio every day until the trial hits. I want to play her audio every day, because that's a telltale sign. When an enemy is trying to throw something away, when an enemy is trying to do something like this, trying to hide something, that's when you put your foot on the gas and say, something up in here, something with this clip, something about this witness is going to expose the devil, and he don't want to be exposed, so let's go in on it. She said Carlos was slamming the door on Romeca. That is abuse. That is assault. And I want to know, what does the autopsy say about that? Do she have any marks from him slamming that door on top of her? And then on top of that, afterwards, he had her in a chokehold, choking her to the point where her thyroids was popping out and swollen, and she had marks on her neck, okay? So this man was just whooping her ass, and during the time when Carlos was abusing Romeca in the middle of the street, how dare Holly scream self-defense? How dare this man? If anybody screaming self-defense, it was Romeca. If anybody should have shot somebody, it was Romeca. Romeca should have pow Carlos. That's self-defense. Hell. Honey, I tell you, and if Holly was so scared, during the time that Carlos was slamming Romeca in that damn car, Holly could have picked her baby up and left. Holly could have went inside the car and locked the doors and called 911. Could she have done that, y'all? I want to ask and I want to see what y'all got to say. Could Holly have gotten in that car, called 911 and locked them doors after seeing Carlos slamming Romeca body on the ground? But she didn't want to call 911. Why? Why didn't she call 911? Why wasn't she afraid? First of all, she wasn't afraid because Romeca was getting her ass whooped by her man. Secondly, she didn't want to call 911 because it would make her man seem like the bad guy, and it would make her man, the aggressor. So she wasn't going to rat her man out. She didn't care about Romeca's life. And that was clear as day. And she was not afraid. If you was afraid, why didn't she call 911? I'm asking y'all, and I need y'all to respond back. If she was afraid, why didn't she call 911 when Carlos was slamming Romeca's body against that car and slamming that car door on her body? Why didn't she call 911? Why didn't she call 911? If I was afraid and this girl and my man, they arguing, fighting, and he's grabbing her and slamming up on the wall, and I'm so afraid, I'm going to get inside my car. I'm not leaving my baby. I'm not leaving my baby. And I'm calling from my car, 911, get here quick. Get here quick. I'm scared for my life. I'm scared. But it was none of that. Nah, she got out the car, leaving her baby inside the car unattended. If that ain't a bad mama, if that ain't bad parenting, I don't know what is. Okay? She left the car, which is neglect. That is a crime within itself. Anytime you leave your baby inside of a car to go and to assault someone, or to go and engage in dangerous conflict, or to go into and start shooting, that is a crime. That is a crime. Ooh, Gretchen, somebody better talk to me. Hell. Gretchen said, Gigi, that girl wasn't afraid. If she was going to be afraid, she should be afraid that Carlos was going to unalive Romeca for hitting her with the car door. Right. All right. And I wasn't even going to start playing this video, but honey, I can go down memory lane. Press 2 if y'all feel like this week I should start going down memory lane. Press 2 if y'all want me to go back and look at these videos, and let's go down memory lane, since they want to try to silence the witness, honey. Okay? With pictures. Let's do it. We can all tussle, honey. Yeah, that part. Ooh, so that's what they're doing right here. Okay? I'm not going to post the pictures up here, but I also wanted to show you guys this too, right? So shout out to Nina Johnson. Nina Johnson did an interview, y'all. Did y'all know about Nina Johnson interview? She interviewed the lady that shared the cell with Quadeja Johnson, Holly Johnson. And I want to watch some of this and play and stop. Shout out to Nina Johnson.
Okay, love.
I'm gonna fast forward it.
Okay, go on to the live.
I want to bring this beautiful woman on who is sharing the information that we need to know.
Okay, Nina.
And what I'm gonna do, Yana, can you hear me?
Okay, I'm gonna fast forward. I need to get to the juice.
What I'm gonna do is, first, before I unit, you can't buy food. She still has no remorse and is only concerned with talking.
They're talking about Holly. Nina is talking about Holly right now, that she don't have no remorse. They're talking about Holly.
To Carlos. You heard me. That's her only concern. You see, because I'm mad. Okay?
I'm mad too.
Her only concern is talking to Carlos. Oh, I'm so sick of that guy. Okay? So she still has no remorse, and she's in there telling people she's going to get off.
What? Are you for real?
So, yeah, we need to talk about this. This is very, 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 very important. So, without further ado, I'm going to bring Yana up because, girl, we need to know every detail.
Well, I think that's very telling. If she's in a jail cell, she has no remorse and she's telling people she's going to get off. That, because a lot of us, we thought that she was breaking down, that she was sad in there. And they're saying that no, she's not sad. She's not breaking down. She's celebrating. She's having a time of her life in jail.
Okay?
Okay.
We need every detail from the moment that you recognized her and that you knew who she was. First of all, before we get too deep into that, I think that people need to know how important it was for you to share the story. So tell me a little something about how you feel about the Romeca Meeks story and what motivated you to say, hey, let me hit Nina.
The morning that it happened, I seen the videos that were just heartbreaking. I'm a mother. I have sisters. I have been in situations where this could have been me, in my younger years where, females were after me about guys and guys were playing both sides, things like that. So, I cried about it from the first day that I seen it, and especially, seeing her mother, her sisters, and what was the icing on the cake for me was when I seen her son at the funeral. And he kind of like he just couldn't take it. And, I'm just like, no, I have children and my children love me. And, it just brings chills to me. So I have been following this story since it first happened, the first day, the first morning. But also, I've seen like different content creators' pages, but I was familiar with your page. That's what made me contact you. Because it was just like, like I was familiar with, I was so happy and excited the day when she was incarcerated. Like for real, on December the 3rd, I was just like, yes, this was something like, it crushed my heart to know that happened to that girl and her family and her son. So, I was fully aware of who she is, who her family is, like, the post. I've been following this story since day one. So when, I knew I had to go for like a traffic, like violation, missing court, I knew that I would end up where she was at.
Wow.
So I don't know. I just felt it. But I knew I was like maternity ward, medical, same thing. So that night when I got there, everyone was sleeping. So that morning when they were calling everyone for vitals or prenatal vitamins, they did say Johnson. And they was like, Johnson is refusing. So I was like, that has to be her. I just felt it. I just knew God, like, I was like, I'm going to really watch her. So the unit that we were on, it was like maybe at the most 14 to 15 women. Most of them were pregnant. But in this first particular room, there was 5 women to the room. 3 Caucasian women, 1 Mexican, and it was Miss Johnson. She finally did come out after a while to get on the phone. It seems to me that, that was pretty much all that she was worried about doing. She wasn't really eating. She was expressing that she was vegan to the officers. So they didn't really have much of a variety to give to her. So pretty much she just, she was on the phone. She was just like smiling, giggling on the phone. Most of the time, like a lot of people couldn't even use the phone because it just seemed like, she needed to be on that phone communicating with quote unquote her baby daddy. I never I couldn't, me as a person,
I thought y'all said she couldn't communicate to Carlos. So y'all need to get those recordings. I want to hear them recordings, her talking to Carlos. Because I thought y'all said they could not communicate. Or are y'all lying to me? Which one is it? Can she communicate with Carlos or not, y'all? Okay, I'm so sick and tired of the games. She's talking to Carlos. The Sally roommate just confirmed she stayed talking to Carlos in that jail cell, y'all. So if she don't supposed to be talking to Carlos, we need to get the damn recordings.
Couldn't bring it to myself to even really like talk to her or even give her a smile, because I wasn't going to do that. I had to really contain myself. This little small day room, we would be out from 7 to 1. And then we would come back out from like 4 to 9:30 at night. The only thing, you know, she would sometimes sit at the table with the girls. Well, mostly she's on the phone. But she would sometimes sit at the table with the young ladies. And, you know, I did hear her, and I wouldn't sit at the table. I was sitting like 2 tables over. But you can hear everything. It's a really small room. You can hear everything everyone was saying. But when she would be on the phone, I really couldn't hear, because she would have the phone, or her hand over her mouth while she would be on the phone. So I did hear her on one particular day saying that, and of course I didn't know what was going on with Carlos with the DCFS situation. I guess that was what was going on that day. So she was like, you know, I don't know, her family don't want him to be around the baby, well, around his son, and they think they're saying it's traumatic. Everyone's saying it's traumatic, but how is it traumatic or traumatizing? I was looking at the corner of my eye like, no, she couldn't be serious. So she was like, he was supposed to have been here custody of his son, because even when the little boy was a baby.
Look, she talking about Romeca family, y'all. She up in a jail cell gossiping about Romeca family, y'all. Yeah, she's telling other strangers that Carlos is supposed to have full custody of Romeca's son, girl. Yeah, ain't that crazy? She up there gossiping about that. Ain't that crazy, y'all? We need to get the likes up, y'all. What do y'all think? Are y'all happy I'm sharing this Nina Johnson story with y'all? Press 10 if this is some good intel. You glad I'm sharing this shit, right? All right, let's get the likes up. Let's go, Nina.
She left the baby outside, and then she recently just left the baby outside and the little boy rung the doorbell. Yeah, we all seen that on Facebook, but this is what she was saying to these women. 1 second, Nina, okay? 1 second. My DoorDash.
All right, 1 second. She's going to get her DoorDash. I don't blame you. I want some DoorDash too.
Crazy.
Yes, it is, Nina. Keep it up, Nina, girl. Keep it up, Nina. Ooh. Crazy work. Are y'all hearing this? I'm going to fast forward it.
Like, you know, she had already rung the doorbell and left the little boy at the door, trying to make this lady seem like,
woo! Oh my God, she's talking about Romeca, y'all. What's her name? Holly Johnson is in the jail, y'all, gossiping about Romeca, telling them that she's a bad parent. Remember that time they was talking about how Romeca, well, see, this is one-sided. We don't know the full story. Carlos told us the story about how Romeca left the baby at the door and sped off. Remember Carlos told us that? Okay, well, this mate is saying that Holly is spreading that same lie in the jail cell. Girl, I'm gonna have to rewind this a little bit. Hold on, y'all. Ooh, wait, did y'all hear that?
I don't know what to call that girl, but ooh, it's so cold in Chicago. It's raining outside. Okay, so back to where I was at. So she was like, you know, she had already rung the doorbell and left the little boy at the door, trying to make this lady seem like she wasn't a mother. So I was like,
The woman that she killed.
the woman that she shot in the face, that she wanted, that she would never be like, that she couldn't even compare it to, honestly. So what she did was, she went from there to say, because one of like the Mexican pregnant lady, she was
Let them know who all was, give
at
them
the
that, bring
table,
them there to the scene.
at the table, because she really only talked to her roommates, and that was the three Caucasian ladies, and the one Mexican. All of these ladies was like over 30 weeks pregnant, and one of them was in there for kind of like, for shooting a girl that quote unquote stabbed her, but that girl lived. So I guess she felt comfortable with speaking with this girl. But two different type of situations, I'm sure. And I didn't speak with none of them. I just listen. I'm nosy anyway. I got that real mother ear. So so she was like, I didn't look at them. I didn't make no expressions. I was just reading my book. So the girl was like, well, I would have did that. I was going to do that to my baby daddy before. So Holly really didn't say, like respond to that. Because the girl kind of agreed with what, quote unquote, Romeca did. So,
she agreed with what Romeca did.
Well, what she quote unquote did, leaving her baby, when Carlos said she left the baby at the door and pulled off. And he was ringing the bell, the little boy. So,
and you know what? One thing to think about, had more time had taken place before she ruined being a mother, her ass probably would have had to do the same shit.
Yeah, what? Probably worse, because
let's be for real.
Because from what it seemed, it seemed like Carlos was an active father, at one point. But you know how they be when you want to leave them.
Oh, yeah, he switched up according to the sisters.
Yeah, I'm sure he did. So, okay, so this was the comment. I almost fell out. She was like, well, he had his son every day, even on the weekends. And she got that same voice on that video. I will never. So, it was just so annoying. It was cringing. So she said, she was like, he was like the mother, and she was more so like the baby daddy.
What? Are y'all hearing this? Press 1, are y'all hearing this? This lady is saying that what's her name? Holly Johnson was telling these women that Carlos is like a mother. He's such a hands-on parent. And Romeca was like the baby daddy. Ain't that some shit? Ain't that some shit? And I don't believe that one bit, because this mother, before she got killed, was writing love letters to her son. Okay? Hell, let's see how they do.
I wanted to say, excuse me. I was so upset when she said that. I said, so she's really even trying to downplay this girl's motherhood. Like, you ain't been in this girl's shoes.
And this is after the death. How could you say all this and Romeca is dead from your hand? Like, she really has no remorse, y'all. She has no remorse. Holly don't need to be in these streets. She has no remorse.
At all. You don't even know who you're dealing with. You're dancing with the devil, obviously. So.
And then that lets you wonder, what all is he saying to this girl? He didn't even know her.
Absolutely. That lets you know.
What all is he saying? What all is Carlos?
That lets you know that that is evidence that he egged this on completely. He painted the narrative that she was I don't know, like, just not a good mother. He's the father of the year. He instigated that little beef or whatever that was. Like, he made her think that it was okay. That
she was just this low life of a parent.
Yeah, and she can do, and that Holly can do whatever to her. Ooh. And it's not going to mean nothing to him. He, like, when he got on that live and said he loved both of them, you didn't display it to Holly that you loved her. Couldn't have been. You know, like me as a mother, my kid's father would never talk about me like that. You say she crazy, but one thing about her, she's a great
And
mom.
then you let her get away with it.
Mm-hmm.
And it's on TikTok.
Yeah.
All the way down to she done murdered the girl. We done discovered it.
Mm-hmm.
Could have been told her to delete that.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. Like, that's your son's mother. Like, how could you love your son? And, like, come on, that's his mother. Like, I just can't understand. Like, no, that girl, his mother. Okay, so with that, I was like, okay. So, you know, I kind of just watched her. She just, you know, stayed on the phone a lot. And, you know, she was just giggly. And I believe that it seemed like she was either talking to her mom or Carlos. And, you know, sometimes she would go in the room, but most of the time she would just be sitting watching TV or watching The Price is Right. Like, nothing is going on. Like, or watching, you know, like the bake off of the, you know, the cakes with Master Chef. And she was just normal. Like, I never once heard her mention her son and how, you know, she needed to go home. It's almost Christmas. I don't even know this girl from a can of paint. We were watching like a movie at one point. Like, she was very talkative to that table. She was like, oh yeah. We was watching like Next Friday. And she was like, this was the last movie me and my father, this is my favorite movie. This is the last movie me and my father watched before he passed away. And I was like, this girl, this is what you're just talking like casually, like, this not going on.
Like your ass ain't in fucking jail for being charged with murder.
Okay, so I'll go to Monday. You know, I know when the court date was coming up. So I was like, when they was like, you know, she had a lawyer visit.
What day was this for you?
This was okay. Sorry. So this was the third day. So Monday was the 22nd, right? Tuesday was the court date, the 23rd. So they said that, you know, Johnson, you got a lawyer visit. And that morning, one of the guards was kind of like snappy at her. And I was like, oh, this guard right here must knows that, you know, what she did. She was like, you can't stand right here by this desk. And Holly kind of like snapped back at her. And she was like, I just woke up. You know, the social worker was trying to talk to her about something small about signing some papers, because they were all supposed to go to the OBGYN that day, the ladies. So she had to, you know, sign the papers stating that, you know, she was accepting. So what she did was, you know, she sat at the table, she signed the papers because she couldn't sign it at the desk. Because some guards were nice. I think that they really didn't know what she did. And, you know, it was just this one, she was like, she was disgusted with her. Like, you know, I can just tell. I was just reading the room. So when she went downstairs to her lawyer visit, she came back up. She was just so smiley. And I was like, she must have talked to Carlos on FaceTime or something, you know, through the lawyer. Like, I don't know what her lawyer told her, but she was just so happy. She was able to go take prenatal vitamins. And then right after that, they went downstairs to the OBGYN. So when they came back, we were already like on a lockdown. I guess something happened with the pregnant girls and we couldn't come out the room. But I never did once see Holly get in the shower. We only had one shower and it's right there in the day room.
Wait, what?
She never got in the shower. She never.
What? Did y'all hear that? Her funky butt never got in the shower. Oh my goodness. Did y'all hear that?
Got in the shower, not one time. Not once. The shower was right there in the day room. Like, we couldn't miss it. The phones is one little small room, like someone's living room.
Wait a minute. Did you say that she never got in the shower?
Never. I never. And I'm not gonna lie, I had nothing else to do but sit at the table and read my book. I watched her. I'm a very, I guess you can call me nosy person. She never got in the shower. I wanted to just stay out. I wanted to just hear everything that she said. I didn't want to miss a beat. So most of the time she would probably go, well, sometimes she would probably go in the room because I wasn't leaving the table. And so I had to. So, so when I seen her, this is the court day. So, you know, I wake up early and I hear them calling everybody for court, but the day room is still not open. And we had these like rooms. I think maybe she thinks she's like in a group home because it would kind of look like a group home or a dorm. We got tables, we got puzzles, you know, markers, things like that. It's not the real county. Because if she was in general population, she wouldn't survive at all. So, and most of these women are pregnant, so she was a little protected. Mm-hmm. So, what this girl, like, so I watched them take her to court at like 7-something in the morning, her and like 2 other girls. I was looking out the door as much as I could, you know, out my little cell or room door.
Somebody said, with her funky ass.
Yeah, what? Had to be. But luckily she's only, look, she still stinks, but luckily she's only barely 100 pounds. She's so little, the hair way more that she got on her head way more than her. She looks bad. So, but
did you say she looks bad?
Bad. She will never look like or anything compared to Romeca at this point. She is done, cooked. So, this girl, she went to court, and when she came back, this was way before 4 o'clock, the news, or she didn't even know anything about Carlos being locked up at this point. But she had the biggest smile on her face. I was kind of disappointed, looking like, I know she ain't about to get out. Or they about to let her get on EM or something. You know, like a house arrest. I said, wait. But she was like excited. She was floating on air. Like, going to go take the prenatal vitamins again. I said, oh, she is happy. I was kind of like, I couldn't wait to the news. I was just telling them, turn on the news all day. I wanted to Fox so I can see what Tia had to say. So here it is. I was on the phone. It's I believe it came on the 5 o'clock news first, or maybe the 4. It was one of them because it came on both with like 2 hours in a row. So, and when she came from court, she did go in the room and she was like, the girls rushed her. That's her roommate. They rushed her and they was, I guess asking her what happened in the room. So, and even the guard went in there. So, and she was like this Mexican young guard, very young, like in her 20s. Mm-hmm. So, she went in there. So, I guess Holly got on the phone. So that's how she got the information of Carlos is locked up. He got into a fight. So she was pretty much on the phone. So we had to take the little nap break. So when it was 5 o'clock or 4 o'clock, when the news came on, the girl went in a room and one of the pregnant girls went and ran and got her. So I'm on the phone, but I'm like, hold on, I got to see what's going on. So she's just so like giddy and like she's amped up. And she's like,
All right, people want to know who's talking. So Nita Johnson, she's a reporter. She is talking to Holly Johnson, roommate in jail. You guys know Holly Johnson is in jail. So they said in the area it's like 14, 15 girls. And she was one of the girls that was inside of Holly Johnson cell area. So she got the 411. She's giving us the breakdown, everything that she saw. Holly gossiping about Romeca, how Holly feels about Carlos, the sneaking, talking to Carlos. She's telling us everything, girl.
Oh, like when Romeca's sister was like, you killed my sister and you ruined that girl's life. She was like, look, see, they're just so ratchet. They're so ratchet. And I'm just like, this girl, their loved one is dead. You don't understand what's going on, baby. Like, but everybody is in the
You murdered
So her response to Carlos getting locked up is to blame Romeca family ratchet. She was like, you see, they so ratchet. They so ratchet.
Somebody.
Their loved one. Like,
I
how?
pray that oh my.
I was like, how? So she was
you
jumping.
murder somebody.
She was jumping up and down. So, and you know, she was like, oh, they so ratchet. Look, yes, you see, you guys see. And I was just like, oh, wait. So then, you know, the segment right after that was about Carlos Jr. getting the Christmas gifts and everything.
Oh, what she had to say about that? Because
she was just very quiet, but she was not remorseful. My kids, they have siblings, and I love their siblings. Even if I don't like the mamas, or the mamas don't like me, because
my kids got a lot of siblings, and I would never hurt any of them.
Yes, and you know, like I love them. They love me. They run up to me and hug me when they see me. So she didn't have no remorse about that. She didn't have nothing to say. She walked away like with that resting face, like how she got on that mug shot, like whatever. So then, okay, she sat at the table or whatever a little bit more. So, like the girls that, you know, I was sitting and talking to, you know, we were all still at the table. So when the next, you know, it was the next hour when it came back on, she was on the phone. She got right up from the phone. She dropped the phone. It was a little chair by the phone. Well, that you sit at to be on the phone. She dropped the phone, and you know, she went and looked like they was gonna say something different. But I guess she had to go see her man, like, you know, being drugged into the, you know, the police, well, the courthouse in the handcuffs. Yeah. She just wanted to see him again because there's no way. I'm like, it's the same thing.
Shut up. So you mean to tell me, what's her name? Holly Johnson get to see Carlos while he get locked up again. They get to see each other again, y'all. Did you hear her? Holly was running over there because she wanted to get a glimpse of Carlos getting arrested.
So everyone is like pointing like, that's her, that's her. And I'm just like,
the people at the jail?
Huh?
Who was saying that's her, that's her?
Like the girls at, you know, every table, like everybody was looking like, because now everybody is out. That's her, that's her. And you know, the girl, like one of the girls asked me like, that's her. And I'm just like, I had to put my hand over my mouth because,
Yeah.
So then I was able to really like see Carlos Jr. on the TV and, you know, like hear what her mom had to say. And when Romeca's mom got to, you know, saying what she said, like, she raised a gentleman. He holds the doors, you know, and all these.
That didn't fit her narrative.
Yeah. When she said that, she walked away and went right back to the phone. When she walked away, it was just like, but I had to put my hand.
And you know what? And that's why she needed to see it.
Mm-hmm.
All that shit that she talked about. Girl,
I was just like, you know, at that point I had tears in my eyes and I had to just cover my mouth because it was just like I had to contain myself because I knew that I wasn't staying there, and I know that, you know, I can't pretty much too much say anything to this girl because I don't trust her. She'll get a report out on me or something. Like, I said, no, I don't trust her. And I just know myself, and like, no, I'm like real, like it was just like diabolical. Like my stomach was hurting. I was like, this girl is crazy. So, you know, after that, she got off the phone. And no, but she didn't get off the phone. She because she was on for a long time. I was like, nobody else could even really make a call. So,
so she was probably on the phone, likely talking to her mom or Carlos.
No, she was talking to her mom. Because this is what she said. I'm going to tell you. I know that she was talking to her mom because she said it out loud. So someone was like, Johnson, you know, she's just on the phone. She's been on the phone all, you know, evening. She's just on a date. Someone made that comment. And she was like, no, I'm not on a date. I'm talking to my mom. She was like, my baby daddy, I think he's still in jail. My mom haven't talked to him.
Oh, hell no. Hell no. Carlos been talking to Holly Johnson, mama. Carlos been talking to Holly Johnson, mama, y'all. And see, this is the bull crap. He's on a TV talking about something. I don't pick no sides. I don't pick no sides. Ain't that some bullshit? And this is why I have an issue with his ass being a witness for the damn state. He is a snake and he gonna come out with lies. And David Brown, they said David Brown is the one telling people that Carlos is a witness for the state. I don't even know if that's damn true or not. But honey, this is some snake ass shit they got going on. Carlos is in bed with Holly Johnson mama, y'all. They in cahoots. They talk every other day. Do you hear what I'm saying?
I think he's still locked up and just smiling like this, bro. Wait, I'm like, this something. It's not clicking. So even when, like, right after that, I guess they were watching Love and Hip Hop, and it's something like Love and Hip Hop Miami. It's like it's this guy messing with these two girls, and the girl was getting mad at the guy, and everybody was in there screaming. Like most of the, the black women, not the people at her table, but most of the black women was like, what? People need to be mad at the, I'm just going to say what they said. People need to be mad at the nigga. Stop getting mad at the female. She ain't had nothing to say. She didn't even have a expression on her face. Mm-hmm. She was just like, they ain't talking about me. That's how she, was looking like.
But that ain't the narrative that she wants everybody to.
I was like, this girl is crazy. So, after that, it was almost time, to go, like 9:30, go lay down or whatever. Mm-hmm. I was just too outdone. So, and I do want to add this. That young guard, I ended up having a conversation with her once everybody locked up, and she was locking the door, and she was like, so you going home tomorrow? I was like, yep, I got to get out of here. It's too many evil spirits.
They knew who you was talking about.
She was like, you talking about the girl Johnson? I was like, yeah. So the lady came in the room and she was just like, I lost my mom when I was 12 years old. This is some guard. She said, I lost my mom when I was 12 years old. She said, since she came in here, she said, the first time I seen her, she was like, she said, I didn't know about the story or anything. She said, my anxiety has been through the roof. I said, you need to put you on some music or, get your Bible. She was like, I always carry my Bible with me. She was like, she's demonic.
Oh,
it's
my
something
God.
about her. She was like, and she's telling the girls, like, she really thinks she's getting off. She even told the girls, like, this lady said to me, if I'm lying, I'm damned. She said, the lady told me, she was like, the girls told me that, she said Carlos only loves her. She really believes that she's getting out. It's like,
shut up. Did y'all hear that? Press 2 if y'all heard that. She going around saying Carlos only loved her. Carlos don't love nobody. And she said she felt like she really getting out. So tell me this. How does she feel about Carlos saying that that's not her baby? Or was that a lie too? I mean, I can't understand how she's feeling all this shit if he told her that's not his baby. I'm so lost and confused. I need to talk to somebody right now.
She was like, she was like, and the lady even said, she said, you can tell she was jealous of that girl. That girl looks better than her and everything. You can just tell that girl was so beautiful. It was just too much. Somebody's about something not right with the story. Be careful of what you do around Holly. Look, but I'm not on here. I don't need no clout.
Don't worry about what the comments are.
Yeah, I'm like, I don't need no money.
No, don't even look up there.
Yeah, please, y'all don't look at them damn comments. They trying to throw y'all off. They always trying to do that. Don't ever look at no comments, y'all.
As a mother, it just wasn't right for me.
And I don't want you to even focus on it.
Yeah, as a mother, I haven't even been looking at the phone. I never even been on live.
Because around this time, when the live goes on really good, the trolls start popping up and it's just a distraction. So we need to just ignore them. And everybody that I talk to, they know I'm going to get to them. Now, one thing that we do know for sure is that she tried to tell everybody in the jail that Romeca was a bad mom.
Yes.
She tried to tell them negative things about Romeca. But when the news came on, her mother stood there and said, she raised a gentleman.
He opens the doors for people.
Yes. So that blew up her stock. That blew her up, whatever. You know, we already knew Romeca was a good mom.
No, look, and one of the girls, this is why when she stormed away back to the phone, because one of the girls, like one of her roommates was like, oh, he's so cute. She ain't like that, baby. She walked away so fast.
Are you serious? He is cute.
He is very handsome.
What? What's wrong with this girl?
But see, this is the reason why we don't want Romeca Meek's son around that lady and around Carlos, because she has hate for anything that's close resemblance to Romeca Meek. She hates, and Carlos hate too. Okay.
So when she knew that Carlos got into a fight, what was her reaction?
She was like, you see how ratchet they are? She think that that's going to help her case, that they beat him up or whatever. She called them people ratchet. They're ghetto ratchets.
It doesn't seem like it could do anything to benefit her case, because it sounds like she's pretty much locked in. But another thing that we will discuss that we are fully aware of is that her lawyer filed some motions for her to be released. Okay. So that's pretty important. And I just want to touch on that before we go back into depth. Okay. Hold up.
Yeah, no, that was
I want to touch on that before we go back into depth. Okay, so that's showing up on my story. Okay, good. Okay, so we know that her lawyer filed a motion for immediate release. So that it was an urgent filing for release. Okay. And what that is the defense is asking the judge to reconsider pretrial detention, usually arguing one or more of the following. Bond detention review. They may claim conditions exist that would allow release. The defendant is not a flight risk. The defendant is not a danger to the community. Detention is excessive or unlawful. Y'all put y'all thoughts to that. Also, procedural or constitutional arguments. Okay. They may argue delay in proceedings, discovery issues, due process concerns, and statutory timeframes in speedy trial arguments. So you said, I'm going to pause on this. I'm going to read one more thing that the lawyer could argue. Humanitarian or custody conditions. Sometimes motions reference medical care, jail conditions, pregnancy or health, or alleged hardship. Okay? So these arguments are technical, not emotional. Okay? And these do not override public safety concerns and violent felony cases. So what that means is that even though these issues could possibly be in her case, but they don't override public safety issues. So the first initial judge denied her a bond because he said that she was a danger to the public, right?
Yeah.
The second time, they felt the same way, that she was a danger to the public. So even though her lawyer is doing her job, she probably was paid a good penny. She's got to do all that she can. Okay. Seems like she's doing it, but it does not override the fact that there was a fist bump after the shooting, which to the judge indicated something pretty awful. Okay. It's not going to override that. So, what this motion is not, we're discussing what this motion is not. This motion is
Come on,
not a
Nina.
dismissal.
Come on, Nina.
It is not a finding of innocence.
Yes,
It is
Nina.
not a ruling by the judge, meaning that this is just her lawyer acting, okay? And it is not proof that release will happen. This is just her lawyer doing her job, okay? So I'm going to let you tell us how she was acting after she knew that the fight and all this and that, and then I'm going to finish this part of that.
But she just don't care. I don't think she's resonating with the fact of what she did. There's no remorse. It's like I didn't see, like, you know, everyone has to be strong. I get it, like in jail, but I didn't see one tear. She didn't say like, "Oh, I just miss my baby," or "Oh, like this is just too much." Like she is.
What a real mom would do.
She just sitting there with her leg crossed over the other one. Just, you know, seeming like, hey, in due time I'll be home. She's very like cocky. I don't really see any worries at all.
So how did she behave after the lawyer's visit? We probably touched on it, but then we can go back on it.
Oh, no, she was excited. Like she was like amped up. Like, yeah, she was very confident. Like she's gonna have a great day in court tomorrow. Well, the next day.
But it turned out that day wasn't so great because she was still refused a bond.
Yeah, but she still came back with a smile. She could have fooled me.
Came back with a smile because she know that some bullshit took place.
Yeah, she probably did know, but I wonder how did she know? Maybe
one
of the guards
got
told her.
locked up.
Yeah, but
could have heard it from the grapevine.
Yeah, she probably could have heard it from the guards, you know, that were transporting her back, you know, upstairs. But I don't see how she, you know, she knew it, but she was just, I'm telling that girl, she had.
It sounds like Holly Johnson got a mental illness disorder. How can you be so happy in jail? You don't have Christmas with your baby and you just happy? And it seemed like her motivation comes from Carlos. You know, as long as Carlos is claiming that he's with her, she's happy. That's crazy. She don't care about who she kills.
And the biggest smile ever. I was like, you seen all of her teeth.
Well, at least she got shut down. God knows what he's doing with this. Mm-hmm. And we know that he's not going to be a moment late. So with that being said, I want to say this, and then we're going to elaborate on this a little bit more. Okay. So we're going to talk about why, one moment.
Yeah, she was smiling because she got to see Carlos.
Yeah.
That's so true.
So, you know, that's going to be her kryptonite. Okay. So let's touch on some important parts. Okay. So,
all right, Maya here. Maya, are you hearing all this?
Yeah, I'm hearing all this mess.
What do you take from it, Maya?
Okay, first of all, they asking questions how Holly knew what happened that time. The walkie-talkies tell you everything. So she can hear it off the scanner, off the police walkie-talkies. She can hear it. She can hear what went down. Then went to the point that she's not eating. You know, that's a danger to the child that she's carrying. So why would they release her and she can get home and not feed the child and still put the child in danger too?
I don't know, but they shouldn't release her. She crazy. She ain't care about that child when she left that car to involve herself in a shooting and leaving that baby in that car by himself. That's a crime. And now, you know, she don't care about. She says she's a vegetarian. They say she's a vegan.
So now she's a vegan since she inside the jail.
Yeah, and did you hear inside the jail she was gossiping about Romeca, saying she's a horrible mom? She said Romeca act like the baby daddy, and she said Carlos is the father of the year. He's like more like a mama because he's so nurturing and he see the baby every single day. And he was about to get full custody anyway. That's what she telling everybody.
I ain't gonna lie, Gigi. I just don't believe that.
I don't believe it either, but that's what Holly said in jail, according to this roommate or this cellmate.
I I I don't believe that. That's unbelievable, Gigi.
Well, Holly, she likes to lie like Carlos. Well, that's what she's going around telling people in jail.
Because how he was gonna get full custody of the child anyway when the mother has the child and wasn't nothing wrong with the child, Carlos wouldn't be filing for custody if she didn't do what she did to the mother.
Mm-hmm.
And then everybody's asking, oh, they can't talk on the phone. Even though he's a witness for the state, even though he can still talk to her because they have kids together. They still have to co-parent it for the sake of the kids. So they are able to talk even though he's a state for the witness.
Yeah, according to the cellmate, she was talking to him.
Because she can talk to him. It's not they are recording every conversation that they have. So only thing he better not do is cross the line, interfere with her testimony, or interfere with his, or anything about the case. But you know they talking and they talking in that lingo though, thinking that the police don't understand. So I just feel like everybody don't justice for Romeca. Don't worry about what this new paperwork saying, because God got the last say so. And this paperwork that's out is only what Ari has said and put in motion.
What is the new paperwork that's out?
Oh, the paperwork that they got from the jail about the motions and the witness that everybody doing commentary on.
Well, tell us.
It's just the scenario of what she was charged with and what her lawyer is consist of doing and file motions for, and Carlos' statement and the witness statements that were said. So that's how the witnesses were exposed yesterday.
Oh my God! They put out pictures. They was taking out pictures of the witness. Did you see the pictures?
Yes, they got the name of the witness, and they went and looked her up. And
That's
she
horrible.
also have a little background.
Oh, hell no.
But at the
You
end of the
talking about
day,
they got the picture of the lady that was on my platform?
yeah.
What is her What's her background? Tell us so we won't get shot.
She got domestics in her background too. But that doesn't stop from seeing what she seen that day.
Right.
That still doesn't have you looking her up. These are the Holly supporters doing this. But the fact that this Holly supporter went and posted that is tampering with evidence. You did not supposed to post that lady's shit on the internet. You can go to jail for that. So, but I pray for the witness. I hope she's protected out here in these streets. Thank you for stepping up, my love. Don't pay this internet no attention. Justice for Romeca. I'm just real pissed that y'all had the destiny to post that.
Mm-hmm.
Like what good did that do you? Was you able to sleep last night? Did you put in somebody else's life in danger? Was you? Because that was wrong. You know, I was supposed to go live today, man, but I ain't feeling it because I don't think that was fair. You put somebody else's life in danger. This internet, everybody got they say so and got their own opinion. But at the end of the day, you don't live here. This girl has to walk out her door and take care of her kids, and you posted her out here. I don't like it.
Yeah. And that's what she feared.
Far as wise, Holly in jail. Oh, she ain't eating. Oh, she ain't. I don't give a fuck if she don't never eat. If she don't eat, oh well. It's a lot of people in jail that don't eat. What made her thought she was so princess perfect? Now, if this lady is up here saying this is what Holly's saying and all of this, then everybody in your right mind know that she has a mental issue.
Yeah, she does.
What she's stating, that means this girl has a mental issue. So at the end of the day, Gigi, keep doing what you're doing. Keep justice for Romeca. But I just don't know what to say from here. But all I can say is what you hearing, what Carlos supposed to say in this statement, that ain't the statement that the state got.
Okay,
'Cause
can you break that down? What do you mean? What statement?
in the witness, he's witness number one. Now everybody do know he's witness number one because the paperwork is out here. What he said then is not what the state is not what. That's not what he told the state.
Got it. So can you tell us what he said then and what he told the state?
I can't tell you what he told the state because the state ain't let out their evidence. This is something that Ari is posting up there saying that he didn't say it was a fight. So I'm confused how all this went down if he didn't say it was a fight. Let me go back, let you know. And then she's trying to say the witness had on headphones, the one you had on your show, that she couldn't hear that because she had on headphones. It's Gigi, you got to go get all this paperwork.
On Ari page?
No, it's not on Ari page. It's the content creators pages.
Okay. Well, I have to spin a block on their page.
Yeah, because someone sent it to me and asked me what I felt and what I think. I don't care about Holly not eating. I don't care about she needs to sit in the jail for the rest of her life. And that lady, her attorney, is trying to pull that she has a mental issue. She has problems. That's the only way she can go at this point. But this person said they was locked. The person that's talking, they was locked up with her, or
yeah, she was locked up with her.
So she was in there with her.
She was in there with her. She seen her, was by her, everything.
Well, if she say this what this girl said, I can't take her opinion from her. If this what she said, that's what she said. But at the end of the day, it still doesn't make it all right. At the end of the day. So Gigi, don't play her. Let's see what her got to say. But if they want y'all to feel so, they say on Gary Coleman's page.
So they want to know your YouTube. Is it okay to still give them your YouTube?
Yeah, you can give to them, Gigi.
Tell them. Because I don't got that link no more.
Maya,
resend it or re-put it in the chat.
Maya, what is this damn thing?
Maya Brown, is that what it is?
Maya Brown 911. I'm gonna try to drop it in the chat.
Okay, she'll drop it in the chat.
Okay, it's in the chat, but go on to play her, Gigi, because I really want to know what else this lady have said.
We're going to discuss why release is unlikely, okay? This is very important, okay? and I don't care what anybody has to say. I'm tired of the bullshit you're talking about. Romeca should have went on to work. She should have went the other way. Listen, that shit is done. That shit is done. Just fucking stop it. Because at the end of the day, I'm gonna tell you what, okay? At the end of the day, the gun is what the use of the firearm is what was unlawful. Okay, her showing up, even if it was a TPO, according to the judge, the TPO was not lawful. Okay, so if we look at the fact that the TPO wasn't lawful, then now we got a gun. We got a gun in a place that it ain't supposed to be. Not only do we have a gun in a place that it ain't supposed to be, but we have a person that used this gun and discharged this gun unlawfully. Okay, so miss us with the stupid bullshit about what Romeca should have done. Holly made a discharge of a firearm in a legal place where she wasn't able to do it. She was not even eligible to use her firearm in the place that she used it. Not only that, but she shot the gun, fired the gun off multiple times, and the last shot, I'm not sure if it was the last or whichever, but she got shot in the face.
Can I say this, Miss Nina?
Yes.
And another thing that, I did hear her say, she was like, they keep saying that it was in front of the school. I haven't been in that area, so I don't know for sure, but she was like, it wasn't in front of the school. And then she's also like, what did this girl say? There's one more thing that
what about bitch, you shouldn't have did it? What about that?
Yes, like
Lord.
I was like, wait.
Don't get on my nerves.
No, and she said that the only reason I heard her say something like they had to lock me up because of all of the protests.
Oh my God.
Really? No, they
Oh my God, that's what Holly think that we locked her up because of the protests. Wow. Ma, you got something to say about that?
Now, I really don't believe the bullshit. I really don't believe the bullshit because, for one, God damn it, why it didn't happen at the school? When you looking across the street, if you cross the street, you at the school.
Yeah.
If you literally cross the street, you are at the school.
Yeah.
When she pulled that trigger, she synced the school.
Yeah.
Man, you know what? This is fucking delusional, Gigi. I don't trust nobody. I don't trust nobody because everybody will backdoor you. I don't trust nobody. No, I don't. Because why were you? Can she explain to me why she was there? Is she pregnant, or does she have a mental issue? Or is she sick? Because that's the only way you can be on the union up there with Holly.
Oh, while she was in there, she said some traffic violation or something like that.
Okay, but she wouldn't be on that unit for a traffic violation. She's in a medical.
All right, so do you want me to go back what she said, how she got there? Because you feel like this lady is not you don't believe that she was with Holly.
Ain't no fucking way. If this lady is not sick, Gigi, she's not pregnant, then there's no reason for her to go to that division where Holly is at. That is for sick people, pregnant people, not for regular people.
Wow.
That's just like me go out here, like I said yesterday, if I go out here and get a traffic stop and they take me to the county, I'm not going where Holly at. Unless my blood pressure shoot up high, or I'm disoriented, or I get to acting like I'm crazy.
All right, well, let me go back so she can explain it.
It's very, 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 very important.
The morning that it happened, I seen the videos that, in my younger years where, females were after me about God. Me was when I seen her son at the funeral. Since it first happened, the first day, the first morning. But also, I've seen like different content creators, just like, like I was familiar with, I was so happy and excited to following this story since day one. So when, I knew I had to go for like a traffic, like that
All right, here it go. Here, this the part where she explained how she got there.
I'm listening.
violation, missing court. I knew that I would end up where she was at. So I don't know. I just felt it. But I knew I was like maternity ward, medical, same thing. So that night when I got there, everyone was sleeping. So that morning when they were calling everyone for vitals or prenatal.
So you heard how she got there? What she said?
What she say?
You missed it. Okay.
I'm still waiting on it.
Following this story.
All right, listen here.
Since day one. So when, I knew I had to go for like a traffic, like violation, missing court. I knew that I would end up where she was at.
Okay, there it is. Traffic violation, missing court. She knew she was gonna end up where she was at. That's how she got.
How the hell you gon' G? Y'all gonna make me pull my hair out.
Pull it out. What?
I'm about to. Yeah, I gotta go to work tomorrow. Just because you get arrested and get locked up, that does not mean you're gonna end up on the same ward as her. I'm confused.
Somebody said she's pregnant.
Okay, well, she got to be pregnant.
Yeah, why she didn't start off where she's pregnant?
Right? Why did it that we wouldn't be going through this?
Right. So somebody said she's pregnant. Peanut said she didn't say she was pregnant. So did I miss that part? Is this woman pregnant or what?
Or she has a medical issue? Somebody tell me something.
Because I honestly, she seemed like, she was telling the truth to me, so.
But Gigi, only way you get on that unit if you're sick, you're pregnant, or you have mental illness.
Okay. They said she was over because of medical.
Yeah, it has to be medical wise.
Medical issues. But I guess she didn't tell us the medical issues.
Wait, then she said Holly refused her vitamins and then said she was taking them. Okay, which one is it?
They said, yes, it was medical issues. Y'all can't lie when it comes to Maya. Maya, honey. You can't get one over on her.
No, because I'm not here for no bullshit. I'm here for justice for Romeca only. I don't care about nobody else, nothing else. I'm just here justice for Romeca. Okay. And I don't know how people feel about it. I don't know Romeca. I don't know her family. I don't know Carlos. I don't know David. But I do live in the same city as them. The reason why I'm so adamant with this case is because I am a mother. And I used to be Romeca once upon a time. But I grew up out the bullshit. And so did Romeca, but a motherfucker didn't want to let her go and live her life. Everybody, Holly this. Nah, fuck that. It's just about Romeca's son. He doesn't have a mother that could never come back. Everybody want a channel, want views. For what? Because this lady that lost her life, I am getting so upset. I don't want to cry because I'm just tired of this. That's why I didn't want no channel. This is exactly why. I didn't want one. Because I'm not invested as a content creator. That's not me.
Right.
I just want some justice. And this damn girl want to say his lie. First she take a medicine, then she don't. Well, which one is it?
I don't know, but they are saying that she has a medical issue she just wanted to keep private. So I'm assuming some people did watch this before I, saw it, and they probably watched it in its entirety, and they are saying that she has a medical illness or pregnancy. She's trying to keep her privacy.
If you was trying to keep your privacy, you would have came out here and told the story, right? If you wanted to keep this, this is crazy. I feel like it's for views. I feel like you want one up for a view or something. Because if this was so